The Democrats should know that they put the White House and the president in this position. And if they don't want further harm on their constituents back home, then they need to reopen the government. It's very simple. Pass the clean continuing resolution, and all of this goes away.
Wow, that is weirdly threatening.
General, and I have to sign for general because we have beautiful paper, the gorgeous paper. I said throw a little more gold on it. They deserve it. I want to use the big, beautiful, firm paper.
What is, and why is the paper like this? I don't understand. What paper goes like this? Can we see, I'm sorry, what is this? Can we see the big, beautiful, firm paper he's talking about? There you go.
In a political arena ruled by spectacle over sense, Donald Trump, the current president of the United States, turns leadership into a circus of chaos, ego, and endless self-advertising. At his side, Karoline Leavitt amplifies the drama with her flair for loud statements and public theatrics.
Keep in mind, my friends, Republicans control all three branches of government, including both chambers of Congress, but somehow, none of this is their fault.
Colbert's satire slices through this spectacle, highlighting the dissonance between promise and reality, while pointing out the recurring pattern: boldness without coherence, bravado without follow-through.
Trump then turned his attention to modernizing the Navy.
Those ships, some people would say, no, that's old technology. I don't know. I don't think it's old technology when you look at those guns, but it's something we're actually considering, the concept of battleship.
Promises of sweeping reforms, innovative initiatives, and historical breakthroughs frequently collide with the realities of bureaucratic procedure and logistical limitation. Colbert transforms these collisions into comedy, dissecting contradictions and irony, exposing the gap between theatrical intention and tangible results, while Leavitt's accompanying statements often intensify the theatrical tension.
There's a process that you follow. When a shutdown starts, people are what's called furloughed, okay? They don't come to work, they're not paid, but when the shutdown's over, everyone gets their job back, often with back pay. But now, Trump is threatening to use this excuse to fire a whole bunch more people from the federal government, posting, "Republicans must use this opportunity of Democrat forced closure."
On the international stage, Trump's conduct continues to oscillate between unpredictable brilliance and baffling chaos. Diplomatic statements, trade negotiations, and summit appearances are infused with personality-driven showmanship that leaves world leaders guessing whether they are participating in serious discourse or witnessing a live improvisational performance.
Last month, I signed an executive order to provide training for quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. And this is going to be a big thing for the people in this room because it's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control.
Colbert's commentary reframes each of these moments, capturing the absurdity inherent in gestures meant to signal authority, yet creating confusion instead. Leavitt, with her characteristic intensity, often amplifies the confusion through statements that blur the line between policy interpretation and dramatic proclamation, ensuring that every international interaction is ripe for satirical exploration. Practically, the administration's handling of policy and governance continues to defy predictability. Economic initiatives, social programs, and regulatory proposals are announced with fanfare, yet implementation often falters, producing a cycle of anticipation, confusion, and media frenzy. Colbert's satire focuses on these inconsistencies, transforming serious policy mismanagement into sharp, witty commentary. Leavitt's pronouncements, meanwhile, add layers of rhetorical exaggeration, reinforcing the sense that the administration operates less on procedural rigor than on performance, spectacle, and the maintenance of an image that overshadows substantive outcomes. The interplay between Trump and Leavitt is particularly fertile ground for humor. Their shared reliance on hyperbolic rhetoric, rapid-fire declarations, and self-aggrandizing narratives creates a feedback loop of escalating absurdity. Colbert seizes on this synergy, dissecting how their tandem approach magnifies errors, contradictions, and overstatements while providing endless material for comedic analysis. Public statements, press releases, and social media interactions become stages for satirical interpretation, highlighting the juxtaposition between dramatic intent and operational reality.
Ted Cruz also weighed in to say how fun he thinks it is that only Democrats would be affected.
President Trump is going to use that as an opportunity not to tell people you're furloughed for a few days, but instead to send pink slips and to get rid of left-wing bureaucrats who are imposing left-wing priorities that are contrary to President Trump's priorities.
Yes, we need to get rid of people who are contrary to President Trump's priorities. And what are those priorities again, Ted?
Let's stop attacking pedophiles.
Colbert's commentary cuts through the haze. The result is a continual cycle in which statements are scrutinized, contradictions are exposed, and satire finds fertile ground, producing a narrative that is both entertaining and revealing. Trump's public appearances and rallies are microcosms of the administration's larger approach, highly orchestrated, yet prone to improvisation and chaos. Colbert hones in on these disparities, revealing the irony in boasting while sidestepping the realities, whereas Leavitt's declarations serve to reinforce the narrative, creating an ongoing cycle of dramatization, interpretation, and public reaction. International diplomacy under Trump is a blend of showmanship and unpredictability, with every handshake, press release, or tweet carrying disproportionate weight. Agreements are made, revised, or contradicted with remarkable speed, leaving allies, adversaries, and analysts struggling to discern intent.
Trump administration is using this shutdown really to punish anyone who didn't vote for him. They're cutting funding for federal projects in 16 states, all of which voted for Kamala Harris in last year's election. For instance, here in New York, they froze $18 billion in federal funds for New York City's mass transit system. You think you can scare New Yorkers? Really?
Colbert's satire thrives on this fluidity, turning global missteps into humor that is both biting and accessible.
Well, I tell you, folks, I definitely did not call this one, but evidently The Late Show has outlasted the United States federal government. Because we're still open and they done shut down. But you know what? Maybe this is a good thing. You know, the government hasn't been working that great lately. Who knows why? Maybe somebody got the government wet, you know? Let's unplug it for a while, plug it back in, see if it reboots. If that doesn't work, maybe toss it in a bag of rice. Leave it there for a couple hours. Doesn't work, we'll just throw it away and buy a new one with a better...
Colbert navigates this terrain with keen insight, converting digital chaos into humor that exposes the dissonance between public persona and policy reality. Announcements of deals, tariffs, or regulatory changes are frequently accompanied by bold proclamations, only to be revised or contradicted soon after. Colbert dissects these shifts with precision, translating complex policy reversals into accessible humor, while Leavitt's commentary often amplifies perceived success or deflects attention from inconsistencies. The resulting narrative oscillates between triumph, confusion, and comedy, highlighting the unpredictable nature of a leadership style dominated by headline-driven decision-making.